Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Amphibia Season 2 Episode 3A called Truck Stop Polly, and later today I'm going to be doing Amphibia Season 2 Episode 3B called A Caravan Named Desire. Okay. And, I'm going to get to this scene in a minute. And I'm going to play, one clip today. Hopefully it won't be too long. So we start off with, so we're no longer in the woods, with, Ann Hunter. So they left the woods, and we're estimating that we're going to get to Newtopia in, how many weeks have they been on the road? 2 weeks? I'm estimating they've been on the road for like 2 weeks, so I'm saying half a month. They're gonna be there in half a month or so, and that's what I'm estimating. But we start where they're in this forest, right? And they're driving. Anne and Sprig are actually driving, and Polly is, it's next to the window, and she's like, looks scary out there, and it's like, oh hey, is that Mrs. Croaker? Remember Sadie Croaker, the old spy? But no, this is a tree. Oh no, it's just a tree, and it is a scary monster that just popped out of nowhere, and she's scared, and she just closed the blinds, the curtain, and she looks at the big map that's in the wagon, and she said, oh, we're really far away from home, and a big scary place like this makes a tadpole like me feel small. He's like, oh hey, but maybe a story might cheer me up. And she picks the story. What was it called? Fergus Frog makes a friend, or finds a friend. Oh, that's pretty sweet. So she picks it out, goes to Hop Pop's. Well, I guess that room, the bed, I guess, because they're like an RV, the wagon. He goes to Hop Pop's bed, and he's like, oh hey Hop Pop, and Hop Pop's like, what's going on? Did we go off the edge? I knew I shouldn't let Anne drive. And sorry about that. And then Polly's like, no, Hop Pop, everything's fine. I was just wondering if you can read a story to me. And Hop Pop's like, oh, I'm sorry, Polly. And he's yawning and stuff. And I spent all night driving. Now I really need to sleep. And Polly's really sad, and does the book, and it translates into a big please, like, smile, like, please Hop Pop. And he's like, oh, okay, one story. Just sit by me, little camper. And Paul's like, yay. And then he reads like the first page, like the first line. And he's like, Fergus Frog finds a friend, and just instantly sleeps. And then Paul's like, Hop Hop. And she takes his tongue and just slaps him with it to wake him up. Hop Hop. Is this not working? And Paul's like, ugh. And say, maybe Anne and Sprig. Well, read me a story. And she goes up. And Sprig, Anne's driving basically with the reins, and Sprig is the navigator with the map. And Anne's like, woof, like, this road is treacherous. Thanks, for being with me, Sprig. And he's like, oh, hey, don't mention it. And he's like, okay, there's gonna be a turn on your. And then Polly's like, oh, guys, read me a story. And then Sprig's like, not now, Polly. Like, not now. And Anne's like, oh, okay, Sprig, where's that turn? And Polly's like, and this is my first complaint. I have a couple complaints in this half of the episode where Polly's like, oh, it's a pop-up book. Polly, Sprig and Anne just said they're driving, and this is a treacherous road. It's very dark and scary, and Sprig's about to say a turn, and it depends on the turn of death and finding the way out. I know she's just 4 years old, but come on, Polly. And she opens it, the Fergus Frog pops up and hits Sprig, and the map blows away, and Sprig has to catch it, and it's like, Sprig, left or right? And he's like, oh, left. I mean right. And then they go over a pothole, and then I'm basically about to hit a spike, and Anne has to do an emergency brake, and then they're like, whew, and basically like, whew. And then Hop Hop goes up like, what the heck is going on up here? This is what I get for letting you kids drive. And Anne's like, what? And Sprig's like, yeah, this was Polly's fault. And Hop Pop's like, I don't care whose fault it was. Like, you guys were in charge of driving. I'm driving from now on, okay? This is too dangerous, which is true. This is Anne's first time driving. It's like on a road trip. The other time was, Anne stole Bessie, so Anne doesn't have too much experience. So, like, I'm gonna drive on from now on. Like, you're on inventory duty, which is good because they needed to see how much supplies they have. And, he's like, yeah. So Hop Hop's gonna drive. He's sleepy. And Polly's like, oh, so much for story time. But hey, there's always bath time. And then, they, close the what would you call it? The roof part where you go to the top of the roof. And then Hop Hop sleeping and say, remember kids, be safe. And just, he falls onto Bessie. And they kind of run him over. Oh no. And okay, inventory duty. Okay, we have these mushrooms, like rations. Is it okay? Like 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure they were counting in 20s. I'm not sure. And then Polly's like, you're like, oh, I'm filthy. And it's like, now, Polly, we're counting these. It's like, but we always do bath time. And then she just splashes on all of their supplies. The mushrooms are not mush. And Sprig's like, oh, these mushrooms are not mush. And all the water kind of went out the window too, and so all the room is wet, and Hop Hop hears it and goes in. And it's like, what's going on down here? And then Anne's like, and Sprig's like, it's Polly. She made a big mess. And Hop Hop's like, oh, come on, kids, please. I just want to sleep. And and Polly, another complaint. So this is the third complaint so far. Polly opening the pop-up book. The splashing the water, and now this. Hey, I know we'll wake you up, Hop Hop. Zap tag. This is what we always do. Like, just gotta charge up, and now he's all charged up. And Hop Pop's like, no, Polly, not well, it's wet. And this is such a logical thing. And now all of them are getting electrocuted. Now every part of the wagon's like kind of, what would you call it? Very scorchy. It kind of and the animators did a really nice job with it, where it doesn't look like how it used to. It's very has black edges and stuff, very dark. And I was like, Polly, and Polly's like, but you guys love Zap Tag at home. And Hop Pop's like, yeah, but we're not at home. And Polly's like, yeah, you don't need to tell me twice. And Hop Pop's like, hey guys, look, there's a truck stop. Nearby. Like, let's go, there and go, fuel up Bessie, get some more supplies, and we'll clean this mess up. I also need 1,000 cups of coffee. And they go in, and then he starts, gassing up Bessie, kind of like at a gas station. It's all right, and Sprig, you clean up the wagon. Polly, go get some paper towels. And I'll get on it, Chief. And then, she finds this rock that's kind of like the door stopper at the what would be like the inside of a gas station, where kind of like a 7-Eleven or something. I don't know. Or a Wawa, I guess. And she's like, oh, twinsies. And I'm talking to a rock. And she goes, they get the paper towels. It's kind of dragging, but she's tiny. And then this is another thing. Sprig's like, what's up with Polly? And Polly's like, what? And she hears Hop Hop, Sprig, and Polly talking about her, and and Sprig's like, is it just me, or is Polly being extra annoying today? And and it's like, yeah, Zap Tag, more like Zap Pest. And she's like, they can't all be winners, okay? Like, I'm tired. And and Sprig makes a good point. He's kind of upset, but Polly's 4 years old. She's just a baby. Like, maybe this is just too much for her. And Hop Hop said, yeah, times like these, I kind of wish I left her in Wartwood with Mrs. Croker. To take care of her. And and Polly just got sad and just bounced away. And and Anne is like, hey, Hop Hop, you don't mean that. You're just frustrated. And Hop Hop's like, yeah, you're right. I'm just so hop and tired. Here you go, Hop Hop. Wake up with some coffee. And then he puts tiny bit on his tongue. He'd say, "Woo, Nelly, let's get this show on the road." I'm stumbling on my words. And Polly is getting frustrated. Oh, you should have left me in Wartwood, huh? And she looks at that egg and say, "Oh, so they don't want me on the trip anymore? Then I guess I won't go on the trip anymore." I'm like, "No, I get it, but this isn't the solution. This is such a cliche. This is not the solution." And she gets like the egg, and the door closes, and she puts it in the bucket and puts like her eye sleeping wear. That I think the only time we saw that, it was like in season 1. What was it called? Flood, Sweat, and Tears, where she's like, "Oh, someone's trying to sleep." So that's a nice callback to that. And then Polly just and also puts her bow on the rock, and then she bounces away. And then and Sprig go to check on Polly like a good older brother and good older adopted sister would do. And Anne's like, "Hey, Polly," like, and Sprig's like, "Hey, Anne, do not wake up Polly. You do not wake up Polly when you're sleeping. Well, when she's sleeping." Like, and then Anne's like, "Okay, I guess we'll talk to her when she wakes up." And then Sprig's like, "Never." And then, sorry, and then and Polly, and then she's hiding behind some barrels and stuff, and say, "Oh, they're gonna be so upset when they figure that I'm not there, and they're gonna turn back around, they're gonna beg me for forgiveness. It's gonna be great." And then and Hopper's like, "All right, everyone, let's go." And they and just assigned this Newtopia in like, what was it, 2 miles, 3 miles or something. And Polly's like, did he just sleep without me? And she's like, "Ah!" It's like, "Okay, Polly, okay, relax, okay, fresh start. No one knows me, I don't know nobody." And then Soggy Joe's there. Is like, "Hey, Polly," and he's like, "Oh, stop, Soggy Joe." And remember in the trailer, it's like, "Why is he here?" Spoiler, he's just, I guess, here in a truck stop. We don't know if he knows any more like information and stuff. I don't know. But because he's from outside the valley, but he probably doesn't. I kind of reading too much into the bath bomb situation. It's just a maybe. So if I stop talking about it every time I see him, that's probably why. Because I'm kind of like, maybe it's just coincidence or something, or just guessed. Okay, anyway, and then it's right here. So this is what we got. So we got this will be like the bartender, I guess. And it says like it's juice, like apple juice. And like he's like shaking and stuff, and she tossed it, and Polly grabbed it, kind of like how you would grab a glass. Oops, I am so sorry. Excuse me. Look at that beetle right there. That looks pretty cool. And Polly's wearing a Road Queen hat. And she like drinks some of it, and she's like, now where was I? Well, where was I? And look at this place. It looks pretty cool. And this is actually music like playing, just like a jukebox. This is pretty cool. And Polly's like, so as I was saying, so like I was just trying to have fun, like old times, like back home. And then everyone's like, cut it out, Polly. So annoying, right? And then Soggy Joe, it's like, well, I think you were just recreating a home-like environment because this place was too scary for you. And one of them, like, and another one was saying like, yeah, and you weren't taking your family's like feelings into consideration, like into this juncture. And this guy with the heart tattoo with the dagger in it is like yeah, and it seems like you have trouble like talking about your feelings and insecurities and stuff. And I was like, yep. And Polly, just like the audience, if you don't know about truckers or just know the stereotype of truckers, she's like, "Oh, what the heck is this? I thought you truckers are supposed to be all gruff and agree with me." And then like what's all this maturity in biz? And this guy, it's like, well, when you spend all your time alone on the road, all you do is just better yourself. You just better yourself. And and she's like, "I just got my PhD." And and he's like, "High tongue, sister." Can I get that? Can I not get it? Oh, there we go. I know it looks weird, but I just wanted to show it. And Polly's feeling sad, and this guy comes in, kind of cowboy guy. And that's pretty cool. I always like Western stuff. And he's like, hey, did anyone take this like stone by the door? And Polly's like, maybe. Why? And said, because it was no stone. It was a bird of. It was a egg of a rock. I guess a rock is the type of bird. It was a ferocious frog-eating bird. And it will gobble a frog the instant it sees it. And it should hatch. I was gonna, sell it to some circus people, like, but and they're here right now. But someone must have pinched it. Too bad for them though, because it should hatch in like 5 minutes. And Polly's like, oh, I don't care if they left me behind. I gotta save them. And he's like, and like, look at Saki Joe. And then and she's like, hey, Saki Joe, how fast can that thing go? And he's like, call me Speedy Joe. Look at the animation right here. And then Polly's like, do I have to? And he's like, it'll help, yeah. And here we have Polly, with the mask and the bow. And Anne's like, she kind of thinks that, Polly's been napping for like enough time, and, sister bond might be stronger than a brother-sister one, so she's like, maybe I can wake Polly up early, so, okay. And she's like, hey, Polly, I know Sprig said not to wake you, but I just thought, because of everything that happened, I thought you would want a story. And and she's like, Polly, and then she taps it, and like the bird, like something's bouncing in it, and she takes off like, oh my god, it's like an egg or rock, and then she's like, Sprig, hop, code purple, and look at his face. Hop's like, what? And then Hop's good grandfather. He's like, she must be back at the truck stop. We gotta go back, and. Oh my god, look at that. That's so creepy. And it's like, oh, that's mildly concerning. And Polly and Speedy Joe are in his Beetle. And then she's like, oh, it looks like they're okay. And they actually came back for me. Hey fam, like I'm right here. And look at this thing. And he's looking around. I guess it also eats snails. And it's like licking his tongue, and Bessie's like, ah! And retracts into his shell. I guess we don't know the biology of this bird, the rock, so it must age pretty quick or grows pretty quick. So, we don't know the backstory, so okay. And he grows his wings, and and Anne's like, oh no you don't, and Sprig jumps with it, and Hop jumps on sec too, and says, hands off our snail. And knocks Sprig back into the wagon, and he grabs Polly's bucket with soap bubbles and eats suds. And it's like burning, and and Polly's like, hey Speedy Joe, is this wool? And he's like, a bee wool actually, thanks for asking. And she's like, getting electrocuted, kind of like the Zap Tag. And he's like, hey, my mother gave me those. And he's like, just keep it going. And he's like, yes, ma'am. And then she says, but hit the brakes. And he's like, what? Just do it. And look, this is from the trailer. Look how cool this is. I don't want to play too much of the clip. Just like a part of it. But look how cool this is. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too much. But look how cool it is. They have one just staring, and and the wind blowing Anne's hair, and Polly just about to go for the bird. And Polly touches it, and look at that. And with the not the mountains, are those mountains? The spikes, I guess. And everyone's getting electrocuted, and and Hop, Bessie, and Sprig go to the ground, and the wagon gets electrocuted too. And I guess this bird can fly with no wings, and it just flies off. And then Paul's like, yeah, get out of here. No one terrorizes my family but me. and she takes off her road queen hat and puts her bow back on, and then and she's like, oh, you guys are okay. And I'm just gonna leave it right here. Them getting electrocuted and stuff. And then Polly's like, oh, and you're welcome, for saving you. And I also gotta thank Speedy Joe for her help. And and then when Polly was done talking, Hop Hop's like, Polly Petunia Planter. Oh, Petunia. That's her middle name. I guess middle name can just be her middle name, but was that her mother's name? Was that Hop Hop's original wife's, Polly's grandmother's name? Or was this just a name? I don't know. But I guess that's her middle name. And and everyone's just staring at her. And and Polly's like, oh, full name. Can you give us a minute, Speed Joe? He's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, boop, boop, boop. Like backing up. And and she's like, guys, I'm sorry about the bird. And Hop Hop's like, forget the killer bird. Don't you ever run away from him. So you hear me, young lady? What if something happened to you? What if you got lost? Or worse? And then Polly's like, I guess I am too much trouble, aren't I? You were right. Maybe you should have left me back at Wartwood. And she's crying. And everyone says, oh, she heard us talking. And Hop Hop's like, oh, you heard all that, didn't you? Polly, I could never leave you behind. Not ever. And Anne's like, well, we shouldn't have been so harsh. And Sprig's like, yeah, you're just so much of a, you're just, I forget, what did he say? You're just most of the time a tough tadpole. You're a tough, why can't I talk today? You're a tough tadpole most of the time. We forget you need a little love occasionally. And it was like, aw, and remember in the trailer where they were hugging Polly in the same area, and they're all hugging, and Speed Joe's like, hey, I don't mean to bug the heartfelt moment, but hey, do you guys need a lift? I can get someone to fix your wagon, and everyone, including Anne, who was against it in the first episode, says wagon, family wagon. I love that. And then Speed Joe's like, is that a word? And then you see Speedy Joe, carrying the family's wagon to get repaired and stuff. And then Hop Hop's like, hey, what about a story? And and Sprig's like, sure. And Paul's like, hooray. And Anne's like, I'm 13, but okay, whatever. And and Hop Hop's reading to Fergus Friends a Friend. It's like a horror story. It's beginning it's nice, but it's like, oh, killing me won't bring your wife back, Fergus. Oh, ain't that a shame? Said the assassin, and he took out his knife, and and Paul's like, oh, get him, Fergus. And Anne's like, man, this book is dark. In the episode, overall, this half of the episode was a 80. I would say 80%, 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Hopefully Polly learned a lesson by this. You have your family, and they not necessarily they learn to appreciate Polly more, but they have to realize Polly's still a baby and she still needs attention and love and stuff. So they kind of learn from that, where Polly still needs love and attention, and because she's just a child, and Polly learns that it's not all about her. Anne and Sprig are driving, they need to drive. Hop Hop needs to sleep, he needs to sleep. And even when you're feeling homesick, you can't put that in a situation where it affects the other. You ruin their supplies, you almost got to kill with the bird. So 8 out of 10. It was average. Hopefully Polly learned a lesson, and the family is better for it. And this was this was a great episode. Yep. B, solid B solid B episode. And don't forget, so everyone, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video. And later today, I'm going to be reviewing the second half of this episode called A Caravan Named Desire. All right. Bye.